guys, what is going on? JPS back for another video, and today we're going to be reacting to my first experience using the NHS, an American in England. And I'm back with Stefan and Arturo.
What's good, guys?
And we're going to be introducing them to England's healthcare system, which is NHS, the National Health Service, of course. And this is super important in like distinguishing a difference between America and Europe is the healthcare system and the views on that. In America, we're much more like individualistic with our choices of how we go about healthcare. And in Europe, you could say it's more of a community-driven movement, and people are more interested in helping everyone, lifting everyone up, and not having them, pay if they get sick or injured. So
fight for yourself.
Yeah. In the U.S., that's kind of a mentality, prevailing mentality is like every man for himself.
Yeah.
And not really. Sometimes you don't look out for everyone, but is this your guys' first time hearing of the NHS?
Yeah, I don't know. What does that even stand for? I've never heard of it.
National Health Service.
National Health Service.
So that's like the name of the healthcare system in England. Okay. And they're very fond of it. Like they're very proud of the fact that they, do this.
As they should be, yeah.
So basically, the taxpayers pay money to the government, and then the government takes that money and funds the NHS. So it's everyone pays for it. Even if you don't get sick, you're still contributing to the system. Yeah. Which I think is a drawback and a reason why we don't do it in the United States is people don't want to be paying for other people. We have a lot of problems with like welfare, and sometimes people take advantage of that, and that kind of insinuates that mentality. But anyways, let's get into this. This is an American's first experience using the NHS, so they're able to compare it with their home situation, which we all deal with.
Let's get into it.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim, and this video will be about my first time using the NHS. So the NHS, for those of you who don't know, stands for the National Health Service. It is a public healthcare system here in the UK. So I will be talking about my experience and in comparison to my experience using private healthcare in the US. So the first time I used NHS was actually a few years ago. This was before I moved to the UK. I was here visiting and I had gotten sick. So I didn't want to go to the hospital. So I decided the best thing to do was go to the local GP's office. So I called the office and I was able to get an appointment within a few days. I was told that I had to pay a fee because I wasn't a citizen, but I was fine with that because I needed to be seen. So I went to the GP's office and I had to fill out some paperwork. My name, the address where.
So GP is like general practitioner.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah.
So she didn't go to the hospital. She just went to like regular doctor's office.
Okay. Wait, so even if you're not a citizen, you only have to pay a fee?
Yeah. So if you're not a citizen, you don't reap the same benefits because you're not a taxpayer.
Right.
But so you have to pay a visitor fee. But I think the video is more of like what it was like.
The experience, the actual experience.
Like,
okay.
That's a big thing, a big con of like free healthcare systems that people point out a lot is like the quality of care kind of takes a dive down. And there is that argument in Britain because there are a lot of people who pay for private healthcare. Yeah. And they choose to override whatever free healthcare practitioners near them because the quality of care. Right. I guess they have more money or whatever the case may be.
When I went to Canada, I was talking to this guy.
To Canada?
Yeah. I was talking to this guy about their free healthcare system. And he was saying that like sometimes they have to wait hours for like care and everything like that. So that's like a downside, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of patients and maybe not enough people working for them because they might be underpaid.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that happens in the education system here in the United States. It's funded by taxpayers, and teachers are always saying they don't get paid enough. So it's really a similar situation in terms of pay.
I was staying and any medications I was taking along with any medical issues. So after filling out this paperwork, I had to sit in the waiting area. There were other people waiting as well. And I noticed that there was a display screen. And when it was time for someone to be seen by the doctor, this display screen would have the person's name and room number. So I had never seen that before at all in my experience with using healthcare in the U.S. Usually what happens in the U.S. is that a nurse comes into the waiting area, she yells your name, Kimberly, and then, you walk back with her, and then she takes your weight, height, and blood pressure.
Yo, I'm getting like nostalgia from being sick as a kid hearing this. That's exactly what happens. So it sounds like the UK has got more like digitized. They got the screens and stuff. I don't think I had that ever.
No,
I've only been to the ER once, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So you really haven't been to too much healthcare experience.
Yeah.
He's a healthy guy right here.
Healthy, yeah.
After
It was when
that,
I cut my foot.
It was what?
I cut my foot, like in the pool.
That's the only thing that's happened to you?
Yeah.
Well, I remember that too. That's crazy.
Yeah, your dad was.
Yeah.
He's lucky. That's the only injuries you really had that made you go to the ER.
he walks you to one of the little private rooms where you're actually seen by the doctor. And then you have to go in there and wait again for the doctor. So that is one of the things that annoys me about using the healthcare in the US is that you have to wait twice. So you wait in the waiting area, and then you wait in the small private room to be seen by the doctor. So I remember one time I was waiting so long that I got bored and I got kind of curious about like some of the in the little rooms they have like drawers with different medical equipment and things in there. Or not really equipment, but little medical tools. So I noticed in one of the drawers there was a like one of those reflex hammers that they use to like hit your knee and check your reflexes. So I thought to myself, I wonder if I can hit my knee and my own knee and if will kick out.
Really?
So I actually did.
If you hit it with your fist, I've done it. I've gotten it like a little. It gets a little.
Yeah.
But you need someone else to do it to really
activate
get it to go all the way.
Yeah. I've been bored too, and like I'll start like putting like gloves on and like pretending like I'm a doctor when I was like a kid and stuff. Because I was so bored.
Yo, okay, we should maybe speak up a little. I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Did that while I was waiting. I probably shouldn't have
me too.
reached in the drawer and got the reflex hammer, but I did that, and my knee kicked out. So I found out I had good reflexes and that I could actually use the hammer on my own knee. Anyway, so yeah, one of the things that I did like about using the NHS was that the doctor was already in the room. This was amazing to me because, like I said, this never happens in the US, and the doctor was already in there. It's almost like the room is his own private office. He has a computer in there, a desk in there. In the US, that's usually separate. They do have the little private rooms where you're seen by the doctor, but then usually the doctor has another like personal office down the hall somewhere else. So it looks like in using NHS, they kind of combine the two. So like I said, the doctor's already in there, which was amazing. So we talked about 10 minutes about some of the symptoms I was experiencing, and he was able to provide me with some medication. And so the other convenient thing was I like the fact that the pharmacy, or I think here they call it the chemist, it was already connected to the GP's.
Yeah, they pharmacy is called the chemist, like a CVS. The equivalent of CVS in the UK is called Boots.
Boots?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And they call it the chemist. Like if you get sick, go to the chemist.
That look, he seems kind of.
It sounds a little better, honestly.
Yeah,
I like
like
it.
kind of
Like a
mystical.
Like Boots?
Yeah, like BOOTS. That's just the name.
That's pretty cool.
His office. So I was able to get the prescription, walk it over to the pharmacist, and I was able to get the prescription filled within, I think it maybe took about 30 minutes or so. It really didn't take too long, and plus I was willing to wait for it because I needed to get well. So I got the prescription, and I took the prescription for about 2 days, and I felt so much better. So that was my experience using NHS. It was a positive experience, and I was able to feel better for the remainder of my time or my visit in the UK. But this was my experience, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
All right. So that was the experience of NHS. Hopefully none of us will ever have to use the NHS. That was one of my worries when I was over there. Is like,
yeah. But
it sounds like it's good.
Yeah.
Even for visitors, they take care of everyone. So.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish we had a similar system in the U.S. I'm kind of I've been a proponent of.
Why don't we?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
It's a really good question. There's a lot of things I'm against in the U.S. Like certain ways we run our country, like the gun control and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you feel a bit helpless because these things have been this way for such a long time.
Right, and you're only one person. Only so much you can do.
This is our generation. It's our time. In a bit, it'll be our time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll run in office. Probably not. I don't want to be a politician.
No.
Or the
Sell your
major.
soul. But yeah, I think it was a cool video. What did you guys think? You like the intro to the NHS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm
pretty
starting
cool.
to see differences between the U.S. and the U.K. Like, no guns for police officers,
Yeah.
free healthcare. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Those are big things too. Like,
Yeah.
kind of ways you view life are very different.
Exactly.
Can be shown in those things.
Yeah.
So, and that goes there's a lot of similarities between the way the UK does things and the rest of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a part of the European Union anymore, but they are on the continent of Europe. So like, there's differences between the countries, but they all have kind of similar philosophies for how they go about life and building these vital systems. So
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she didn't really. I don't think she really waited that long, right? Or unless she said she did.
for
no.
nothing, and
Really?
prescription, everything, like all in one.
Yeah, exactly.
The idea of the doctor being there when you get there
That is
that
really
does
nice.
sound, because that's right. You have to wait in the waiting room and then wait in the office, and that
Yeah.
takes a while sometimes.
Bro, when I go to Kaiser Permanente, that's like my provider. I have to go check in at a kiosk. I go wait. I get a ticket, which is actually kind of a little bit advanced, but I get a ticket, and then they call my name. I go in, I get my stuff checked, and then I have to wait again, talk to the doctor. He gives me a prescription that I have to go somewhere else in the building to go to the prescription. Like, the fact that it's all kind of in one kind of seems like you waste less time, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially when you're sick, that's probably something you're looking for. So that seems like a lot nicer, honestly.
Because going to the doctor is one of the biggest burdens when you're sick. You already
Yeah.
feel terrible. Your
Yeah.
head's pounding.
Exactly.
You got to be in the room
You
with
have to
these
wait.
kids crying and stuff. It's
And the light
very
seems
unpleasant.
seems so bright. Too.
I'm feeling all the when we're talking about it, it's unpleasant. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
See ya.